didn't realise the draft here as well. So there's a bit of a draft coming through this side. The aircon's playing up. The steering back's gone.
We're recording this.
Yeah, we are. That's the worst bit of it.
Welcome to my video diary of a brilliant road trip to the 2022 Le Mans Classic. The mission was simple: witness racing history come back to life at the home of endurance racing by day, while then at night saddling up with the guys and girls from RPM Technic who put on a wider road trip for their customer base. This personal account will look at highlights of the 2022 event and give you tips for the 2023 event should it be on your bucket list. First, let's introduce my co-driver, co-host and all-round good friend,
Andy Brooks.
Yo! We're in French France.
We are in France.
So on the way to Le Mans.
We were fairly lucky because living in Poole, we managed to get the Poole to Cherbourg ferry. So basically we've fallen out of bed and managed to get on the ferry, so that's good.
Cherbourg?
We're both going to be,
Sorry, I was just going to go full French for all of this.
So yeah. we're both popping the Le Mans Classic cherry this weekend.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are you most looking forward to?
Well, seeing Porsche.
At the roundabout.
Yes, yeah, so look, 3-hour drive to Le Mans. Let's crack on and go see some nice cars, shall we?
Indeed.
Halfway to Le Mans, we swapped over to let Andy have a steer of the 996. An awkward scenario for both of us, as Andy has the most immaculate 993 on the planet, while my 996 has a habit of just falling apart. In this regard, Little Irish will not fail to deliver in France. Nevertheless, we pressed on through the monotonous toll roads of northern France, our only entertainment being the obligatory blast away from the péage.
Ready to roll, drive?
It's the rocks, isn't it? You've got to run it.
There was, though, some small drama before we reached the nighttime abode.
Thoughts on the 996, as in like this one? Found anything else wrong with it?
Right, yeah.
Whoa! Where's he going? Oh my god.
Hey.
Whoa! So for the benefit of the tape, there's a lorry in front that was just reversing backwards. He did have his reverse lights on, so it wasn't like he just let off and was rolling back. He was actually trying to go somewhere. Yeah. Christ.
Oh, there's a bit of a creak.
Oh, there's the steering back on. Don't know what's gone on there. Oh right, so there's a classic car. Let's spin this round.
Down.
Yeah, kind of reverse out. Don't know if you guys can see the carnage. There's a classic reversing out of the péage.
Oh, little Aston Martin.
Oh.
Glad I could find the horn.
Yeah, well played. To be honest with you, Chris at Right Tune only fixed that 6 months ago. So that would have been absolutely carnage. Yeah.
Eventually, we reached the long drive leading to the RPM Technic chateau. The cars from the group presenting an eclectic mix of models and colours. As we'd soon find out though, even better than the cars were the people who drove them. Morning, so fantastic gala dinner last night here with the guys at RPM Technic. Tim Harvey did a really good Q&A actually, lots learnt there about his career, touring car, Carrera Cup champion of course. We're about to head over to Circuit de la Sarthe for Le Mans Classic, but before we go I thought, well look, let's take a look around very quickly at some of the metal that we've got here, staying with the guys at RPM. So it looks like, oh yeah, look at that, brilliant. Great first staple. So we're talking about like the older cars and what they give you in terms of like analog feel and all the rest of it. 991.2 Carrera T, that's such an underrated driver's car, and actually even taking off the Carrera T side decals as well, I like that. It's quite under the radar. 996 GT3s, these have been good news for ages. RPM buy and sell all manner of GT cars. They used to be very heavily focused on the 996s, particularly like with the company's CSR program, which we know all about through my videos previously. This is lovely. I wonder if Andy can show the bonnet. So as well as the engineering side in terms of mechanical elements of the car, the guys have also manufactured their own carbon fibre panels, exemplified there by that lovely bonnet. The ducktail as well on the back is the same as mine, and again, as viewers of my channel know, I had to paint mine because it would have looked odd, but where this lovely car is a darker coloured car, it means you can have that lovely carbon weave exposed, and that looks amazing. The quality of the weave is awesome. I was a little bit gutted to paint the ducktail on mine for that very reason, so it's nice to see it bare naked carbon fibre there. This old banger, we know enough about that, that's absolutely fine. Came in GT4s, again I've done plenty on my channel with these, they're absolutely fantastic out the box. Have a chat with the guys at Sharkworks, they do a lot more to really push that car on, but straight out of the box that's a fantastic GT car. 981 Spider, so again, like, these are similar, aren't they? This being the tin top to all intents and purposes, this being the soft top. 964, we've spoken about these on 9works radio, they just keep going up and up and up in value. The guys are going, so we'll be quick. That right there, that yellow car, is a 964 RS 3.8. I've driven one, I'll put a link to the video here so you can see it, but that is a splendid car, one of 50 or 55 made, very, very cool. Sitting either side of two blue GT 991s. You've got the Miami 991.2 GT3, colour-coded bucket seats, that's a cool spec. Visac pack 991.2 RS. Now this, just before the guys go, this is really cool. So we got chatting to Peter last night, who owns this car. Viper green, Middle East car, was originally a sunroof model, extensively modified, includes the sunroof has been whipped out, it's a carbon roof panel on there now, very, very cool. This car has been all over Instagram, we know all about this. I can't remember what colour that is, Andy, can you? Is that oak green metallic or? Yeah, stunning, works really well with the gold wheels, possible inspiration for Little Irish. 718 GT4, very cool. Greg at RPM Technic with the Gen 2 Club Sport 996 GT3, that's pretty splendid, as you can see. 981 Spider, we were chatting to Paul, the owner of this, last night. The merits of this car are unbelievable. Again, similar footprint to like a 996 Gen 1 997 on the road, really usable power, splendid car, looks great. Cayenne Turbo S, why not, in Carmine. A 997.2 GT3. So the last of the Metzger engined GT3s. Obviously we've then got the electric car. I don't really know much about those at all, it has to be said, but yeah, very, very cool. It's nice that the car has got here. So, as we watch the guys head off, that is a bit of a flavour of what we've got as part of the RPM Technic crew here for Le Mans Classic. So we're staying in the chateau in the evening and kind of rendezvousing here, swapping our stories from the day. But otherwise it's all about the racetrack. The majority of the cars you see round here all have storied motorsport engines, made famous from racing exploits of Porsche's past. And we're very much going to be celebrating that today at Le Mans Classic. Let's head over to the track. Racing was soon underway at a sun-drenched Le Mans, and it was absolutely awesome to see legendary racing cars from yesteryear back out on the tarmac and racing hard. And we'd even managed to bump into a good friend of this channel, Chris from Right Tune, for an afternoon of fun, friends and flat sixes. So, welcome to the paddock of Le Mans Classics. We've just seen these spectacular Porsche race cars out on track at Circuit de la Sarthe. I think it's prudent, therefore, to just show you a little bit around with Mr. 9works Radio himself.
Good day.
Mr. Andy B. So, it's very hot, isn't it? It's very hot. I don't know about you, and again, this comes back to what we were saying earlier on, but genuine Le Mans, you can't get up close to these cars, whereas now we're so privileged to kind of to have that. Look at this. The mid 1970s to 1980s for me, again, like for Porsche racing, that is the holy grail of Porsche racing for me. Nothing beats it. And if I go there we go. It started with that car, the 934. It was the car after the 2.1 RSR Turbo, which started Porsche's turbocharged legacy. Then we started with this car, the 934. It quickly graduated to the 934.5. It then went into the 935. 935 was quickly passed to privateers. You then had the likes of Creamer racing by the end of the 1970s, racing the K3s and all the rest of it. Meanwhile, Porsche, as a factory outlet, had already moved on to the 956s and 962s, which, as we all know, completely dominated here at Le Mans. in the 1980s. And that was just the early stuff. Later, the FIA Group 5 cars would come out to play, my favourite era of racing. So we've just seen what Andy said is Group 6.
Yeah, Group 6.
And we're not sure really what that is.
Just lots of Porsche.
So, where we are in the paddock right now is basically full of 934s, 935s, RSRs, 2.8 and
3 litres.
So it really is kind of Zuffenhausen royalty, but within the context of other racers of the time. So the Vorsteiner BMW
M1, a couple of those.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's obviously it's cool to see the cars that we're here for, but again, like within the context of the cars that they were possibly racing within the period. And this is what's so awesome about Classic Le Mans. All these cars hail from the golden era of Porsche engineering. I need to qualify that, don't I? In my opinion, the golden generation, golden era of Porsche engineering, which to my mind was the 1970s and 1980s, the kind of period when Norbert Singer took a genuine 930 or 911 or whatever and said, yes, here's what we can do, here's how we can make the regulations work to our advantage, and everything was mechanical rather than digital, computerised, and yeah, and all the rest of it. And also, and this is kind of the big thing that I'm really keen to point out, so for us as enthusiasts, it's absolutely awesome to see cars like this that raced in one period, but also arguably as well for like the people that own these cars, it surely has to be a privilege to allow people like us, like people that actually care about the car, to get up close to them. So, I mean, yeah, it kind of works all round. These cars, although they're all owned by privateers, none of them are owned by the Porsche factory anymore, they all do such a stellar job of telling the story of what was from back in the day. And it's these stories that help create the legend, which is why the likes of Porsche and other manufacturers in today's world find competing at Le Mans so significant, because there's already that lineage, that history there, which makes competing here so worthwhile. As you can see, like the sun's going down, but our plan is very much to stay until way beyond kind of sundown and to see these cars like out on the Mulsanne after dark. But yeah, there's almost like too much going on to take in, really.
It is,
yeah.
Absolutely.
We should keep trying.
Brain is frazzled. We're going to keep going.
Racing continued into the night, by which time we'd made our way to the other side of the 8-mile course to take in the action from there. Can't even see, but little Irish is there. Andy's in there somewhere. Definitely going to have to brighten this in post. But yeah, we're going to have a kit because we're waiting to see, I think it's Group 5 or 6. It's like the 934 RSRs. So yeah, we've elected after Andy has driven to Arnage or Indianapolis, as this bit is, and yeah, just have like a kip and then wait. So yeah. We shall see what happens. Cool, so at this point I should probably apologise to viewers because we stayed up, or we meant to stay up quite late to watch the last of the action, which was RSRs, 934s, 935s, etc. And we'd gone down to Indianapolis. I decided to have a quick kip in the car for 10 minutes that turned into an hour and a half. So Andy here had to go it alone and watched it all. So yeah, we're going to have to rely on you, I think, for a bit of an account as to how that was.
Flames, cherry red turbos, brake discs, lots of good noise. It was just, yeah, awesome. There was a bit of an incident on the corner, oil on the track, so a couple of spins, so that put the safety car out for a bit, which was actually really good for filming because you could, all the cars grouped up and it was just, yeah, it was fantastic.
One of the bits of footage you've got, and it's just literally like a minute of just like, yeah, all
the
these,
whole grid,
yeah, and the sounding absolutely awesome. So.
Yeah.
Worth staying up for?
Oh yes, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I got back at 5 last night. So yeah, 3 hours sleep.
Yeah. 4 for me, if you count the car. But yeah, so we're going to head back to the track now. It actually finishes, I think, like racing wraps up around 3 or 4 local time today. So yeah, we just want to get back to the action as quick as possible. And with that, we headed back to the track, where our attention was caught not by a racing car of the past, but of the future. Cool, man. So, as we can see, this is a real highlight. So we're here at the Experience Centre at Le Mans, PCLM. And look what we've stumbled across. It's only the Porsche 963. Andy's busy snapping away, as you can see. So yeah, as I say, like really, really unexpected. So here's a mock-up, as Andy's established. But it has to be said, I mean, they wouldn't let you see in anyway because competitors would see what exactly Porsche's up to. But yeah, look, really cool to see it. Proportionally, it's definitely got similarities to the old LMP1 project. Obviously, this will be running at Genuine Le Mans next year, 2023, in the LMDH. So that's going to be the top rung of Le Mans for what will be the 100th running of it. So yeah, very, very cool to have Porsche back at the top level of endurance motorsport. Let's just have a look at that. Let's try and see some new angles on it. Oh, I've not seen those before. And actually, you'll see this sort of stuff. Look out on the new GT3 RS when that lands. That's got some weird fins on the roof as well. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, nice little bonus here from the Porsche Experience Centre Le Mans. Got some other bits going as well, as you can see. So yeah, very cool, nice. Back trackside, we watched the last of the action at the storied Le Mans circuit. After another epic day of racing, it was time to head home, this time via the Channel Tunnel at Calais. It meant more boring toll roads for the 5-hour drive there, though thankfully the intense conversation and debate kept us both entertained. By late evening, we'd reached the Channel Tunnel, our crossing allowing us time to reflect on the weekend and offer you some tips in case you'd like to go next year. Andy, we've made it to Calais and the Channel Tunnel.
So really quite quickly, actually. It was good.
Yes, through, unlike Chris Wright at Right Tune. Apparently it took 4 hours to get through border control at Calais. It took us about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Chin up, Chris.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
It's worth just pointing out, so for the benefit of people watching on YouTube, the reason we're holding these mics, in case you don't know, of course you absolutely should by now, who this man is, Andy Brooks, my co-host on Nineworks Radio.
Indeed.
So we have just celebrated actually 150,000 downloads of that podcast. So if you haven't yet found or listened to that podcast, the reality is you haven't yet found your favourite Porsche podcast. But yeah, look, 100% go and check that out. There is a wealth of content on your preferred podcast platform, so just search Nineworks Radio. Lots of really cool interesting stories, interviews with people, but also we deep dive into different models of Porsche as well, ones that spring to mind. Cabriolets, generally speaking, 964 special we did, a 997 special we did,
Singer.
Yeah, Singer interview with Rob and Maz talking about the turbo study.
Great.
Yeah,
God, we just had so much stuff.
We have, yeah. Mine's gone blank, probably the lack of sleep and whatnot. So yeah, check it out basically. But that's why we've got the mics here, because we're recording our special Le Mans episode. So yeah, look, how have you found it?
Le Mans? It's been amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. Full on. I mean, I think my body's absolutely broken from walking and probably eating the wrong stuff as well. Yeah, fantastic. You?
Yeah, look, awesome. I just put some stats together actually, just to sum up our weekend in numbers. So 3 days, 800 kilometres covered in Little Irish so far. Obviously, we've got a 3-hour journey when we get off this Channel Tunnel. 65,000 steps done each in and around the dusty confines of Le Mans. 4 beef and chips based meals throughout the weekend. I think that's been conservative as well with the small C.
I think we had a few more than that. I think that's today.
Yeah, lots of beef and lots of chips. Roughly 5 hours sleep each night.
Oh yeah, well you have.
Yeah, you've had probably less actually. Yeah. 2 celebrity spots, one being Jurgen Barth, the other one being Mike Wilds.
Yeah.
One mistaken celebrity spot. I thought I saw Patrick Dempsey.
It was really bad.
It's just
not really bad, but it wasn't. Definitely wasn't.
No. Hundreds of epic race cars seen up close, which really is what this show's all about.
Yeah, amazing. That's the biggest thing, isn't it? It's a bit like Goodwood Festival of Speed, that you can get to the paddocks, you can get to see everything, but it's just on another level because the atmosphere is, again, it's all a bit organised chaos. So you got all these guys whistling and sort of get out of the way, and the cars are like driving through at sort of crazy speeds through crowds, and it's just bikes everywhere, mopeds, pit trucks, and yeah, it's just immense. And obviously going on into the evening as well, which was just epic. The turbos, I mean, all of the turbos, just cherry red turbos. You had all of the brake discs sort of glowing, fire coming out the back. I guess the biggest one was that the 1974 Carrera 2.1 turbo RSR. Yeah. I don't know if I got that in the right.
Yeah, you can have that if you like. I think it's 72, but the rest of it is bang on. Yeah.
So yeah, that thing is just crazy. The amount of turbo action that's going out on the back, just crazy.
Oh, it was great to see that. I have to say, I'd like to ask you what your car of the weekend is, and for me, that is probably up there, just because I never thought I would see that car in action.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm squeaking the
on the telephone. Yeah, the telephone, in-car telephone. So yeah, what's your car of the weekend, Andy?
Hello. What's my car of the weekend? Ooh, that is a difficult one. It's always going to be an RSR, I think.
So top tips: definitely get a paddock pass if you are going to go again.
100%.
That's where the action is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great to get up close to the cars. We did buy a grandstand ticket, and we kind of said that although not vital, we were blessed with good weather. If it rained, that's at least somewhere to get some shelter and just have a sit down, so it could be a little bit of a safe haven. Oh, and the other thing is as well, so the experience centre, you don't need a wristband to get in there. You just dangle your key, your Porsche key, and you get in. So that was good to have a look around, particularly at the Penske 963 for me. So
the plastic Penske.
The plastic Penske, yeah. But yeah, look, that's about it. So we'll head back. Thanks for watching as always, and see you again soon.
Au revoir.